competitors, what to do when your competitors cut their prices. I mean, it's easy to say, well, just ignore it, just forget about it and don't bother because it doesn't matter. But that's a little bit, I would say short-sighted. I'll get this fucking thing on top. I would say short-sighted, but you might want to keep an eye on the ball because there may be times it may affect your business. It's unlikely to most of the time, but sometimes it might. But even so, even if it doesn't affect your business, listening to what I say now, what I showed you now, will equip you to ignore and overcome the emotional knee-jerk reaction to drop your prices too. Because that's the thing that most people do. This is why we get price wars. And as we've said before in previous episodes, nobody wins a price war, not even the client, not even your competitors. Nobody does. You all end up just working harder for less, and the client suffers because the quality of delivery tends to suffer. So when your competitors drop their prices and you see this or you perceive this, there's three things to do. The first thing is to establish they are actually offering that discount. Yeah, because if you get, say, someone walk in your front door or phone you up and say, well, I've asked your competitor down the road and they said they'll do it for X, Y, and Z pounds, you don't necessarily know that's true. Because as we've said before, sometimes prospects and clients will lie to you. Most people in civilized society think lying is generally a bad thing. I mean, there's maybe a few grey areas, like, do you have any Jews in your house? And we're going to drag them out and shoot them if you do. And you might say no, which is the lesser evil. But for the most part, most of us tend to agree telling lies is not big and clever. But when it comes to lying to salespeople, it seems all bets are off. It's fine to tell a lie to a salesman because then you get something cheap. I don't really understand the morality of it. I mean, it's not something I would do. I'm not claiming to be holier than thou or whiter than white, but I tend not to lie because there's no point. One of the reasons I don't lie is I don't give a shit about other people's thoughts and feelings and what their opinions are. So there's no point in lying. So first, establish they are offering a discount. How do you do this? Well, easy. I mean, just look at the prices. If it's a retail environment, if you can. And if it comes to it, do a bit of fucking mystery shopping. Ring up, get someone else to ring up. It's not that difficult. If someone comes in and says, Fred down the road will do it for cheaper, we'll say, well, show me the quote. Don't just tell me, show me. If you can't or won't show me, it's not happening. Any claim requires evidence to back it up. If any claim made without evidence can be discounted without evidence too. And then, assuming they are offering a discount, establish to see if there are any conditions attached, tying contracts, like you've got to buy from us for the next 200,000 years. You've got to buy $1 million a week, that kind of thing. Are there conditions attached? Is it just a one-time purchase? Is this a free and above board purchase, or are there conditions attached to it? Because if there are, you might think, well, I'm not prepared to do it. I don't want to tie people in like that. This is a high volume thing. I can't even provide that volume if I wanted to. It's all well and good to say, this guy says he'll decorate a house for, I don't know, 1,000 quid, and you're charging 5,000, only to find out the guy doing it for 1,000 quid has got a massive estate with 2,000 houses on it, and he's doing a discount that way because he's got economies of scale and stuff. Well, that you can't match that for one person's house. So, are there any conditions attached? And the third thing you need to do is, I think this is more for retail really, but it's still valid. When I say retail or even wholesale, if you're shifting a lot of this stuff, if you're selling stuff as opposed to just doing things, service-based stuff. And are they clearing out old stock? Meaning, are they shipping and receiving? If they're just shipping, then it's possible they're clearing out old stock. Well, if you are doing the same thing, you are still receiving, so you're still putting stuff through your business, not clearing out old stock. You might not want to drop their prices. They may be dropping their prices just to get rid of an old line. And then maybe have a new stock, new model coming along. So those three things you need to do. Make sure they are actually offering the discount, see if there are terms and conditions attached to it. And the third thing is, are they actually clearing out old stock? Are they doing this as an ongoing thing, or is this a special, unique reason? Don't just drop your price. Does that make sense, Mr. Benham?
Perfect sense. That's why I did not butt in once.
No. Well, I realise this is probably a little bit beyond your level of understanding.
Oh,
isn't
you
it?
fucking fucker. Suck my dick. Suck my dick.
Well, the fact you're swearing at me now suggests I'm correct, you know?